Andrew Donaldson, it's really good of you to spend some time with us down here at Mickey's Boatyard and Cafe, so thanks for your time. At the Hospice of the Good Shepherd, you've been a supporter for many years, and lots of people in Chester know you as a very successful businessman and a Chester-based person, but not many people know about the younger Andrew. Share with us a bit more about yourself, the private Andrew.
Well, I suppose I'm from a family of entrepreneurs, really. My dad ran his own business, his dad, his brothers, my mum's brother, my mum's mum and dad. I think if I'd gone to university and had a corporate life, I would have been abnormal in my family. So I've always been pushing the boundaries as a kid, always thought I knew it all when I knew nothing, but always willing to learn and to learn every day. And I suppose my drive for doing the right thing and becoming a bit of a social entrepreneur was the Princess Trust helping me set up in business half my life ago now, 25 years ago. So they helped me and supported me when nobody else would.
Yeah, one of the things that perhaps people don't know as much about you is your philanthropic giving. You're giving to good local causes. What drives you to support local causes like that?
Well, you can't buy belief. It's not for sale. And if you do the right thing, you've got a clear conscience. It's very rewarding. It's very fulfilling. And yeah, okay, money helps people be happy, but it's not the be-all and end-all. Doing the right thing and helping other people, it's a very rewarding experience.
Yeah. And as a chief executive of the Hospice, I've always been amazed in Chester about the generosity of local people, business people and corporate sponsors. How would you encourage other people to support the Hospice of the Good Shepherd in the future?
Well, a lot of people will probably be directly affected or know somebody who's directly affected who's probably stayed in the hospice, and that makes a big difference. And if you know somebody who stayed there, this would be my message. You know somebody who stayed there, then you should be helping the hospice because they helped somebody you loved and you cared for. And if you don't know somebody who stayed at the hospice, well, the chances are you will do at some point in the future.
Indeed.
And, you know, the hospice, you know, what, 3/4 of the funds comes from businesses and private donations.
That's right.
Well, it's a lot of money to find every year. And if you can make a difference as a person on the street or as a successful businessman or a team in a business, well, go that extra mile and make a difference.
We've been in existence 25 years, as you know, and we're just building a 2.2 million extension for the next 25 years as a day centre. And we're trying to encourage people to support us. As you just said, 3 out of every £4 that we need to run the hospice, we have to raise by donation. So it's really important. But I do know you have a very personal attachment to the hospice through Mickey, and we're here at Mickey's Boatyard and Mickey's Cafe. As you say, the brew with a view. It's fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about Mickey and how you came to be involved in the hospice?
Mickey was a great influence in my life. You know, he might have been 5'0", but he exuded energy and personality. And to him, it was all about helping other people. And if he could make other people happy, then he was fulfilled himself. And, you know, I got involved in sports and sponsorship and other things. And to me, it was all about winning. It was always about winning. Mickey taught me it was about taking part and making a difference to other people. And I don't know what would have happened if the hospice hadn't been there for Mickey's for the last week of his life, really.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he died in my wife's arms, and Debbie's still really raw about it 18 months later. But we won't forget him. We've named the boatyard after him. We're here to help the hospice. We're here to do the right thing, and Mickey's been our inspiration.
Yes.
And, you know, long may it continue.
Yeah. And when you came to the hospice, was the hospice what you thought it was going to be? What were your preconceptions of what it would be like?
Well, it's a really difficult one because you imagine it's going to be a horrid place, full of death. But it wasn't like that at all. It was refreshing, it was alive, it was full of people who cared. We all had a cry. You know, it's got the chapel there just for that. It was so surprising that it was such a pleasant place to be. And I think Mickey knew his days were numbered as we did. But we were glad to be there, and we were glad he was in the hospice.
And you said Mickey's death had a huge impact on yourself and your wife. Did you receive any help or support from the hospice?
We've always been involved in the hospice, and the fact that we could call in, people recognised us, the staff cared, people understood. I mean, Mickey's church ceremony, his funeral, there's 350 people there. He was a well-liked, respected guy, and Chester was his family, and almost the hospice was his family as well. So I'm pleased to have gone back, and I'm pleased to be making a difference now.
Well, let's talk about that difference. You're helping us to raise money towards this new building. Share with us what you're trying to do.
It's utter madness as ever. Most of my ideas. Well, what is it? 1st of April? It's not April Fool's Day. That's just passed. It's probably just gone noon. I've got 28 days to raise £50,000. I like an ambitious target, obviously.
And how are you going to do it?
Well, I'm pledging £5,000 myself from Mickey's Boatyard and Beach Cafe, and that was roughly Mickey's care costs for about a week's worth of stay at the hospice, and that was only fair that we donated that. And we're looking for another half a dozen or so businesses and business people in Chester to match my £5,000.
Right.
And hopefully we'll get to £50,000 by April the 28th.
It sounds like a great challenge. Thank you.
We love a challenge, and we're doing it for Mickey.
Now, my last question.
Yes.
Tell me what the hospice means to you in 3 words.
Love, care and compassion.
Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much for your support as well. It's really
Cheers,
appreciated.
Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you.